Dr. Fraudci and the love affair with the media continues. However, getting a little pushback, his forthcoming book that he had out now being scrubbed by Amazon and some of the other booksellers. Why is this going on? I thought it was Saint Fauci. Well, a lot of people like me call him Dr. Fraudci. Why do they call him Dr. Fraudci? Well, because, these emails have come out and they seem to contradict what he was saying publicly. So there's private Dr. Fraudci and then public Dr. Fraudci, and they don't seem to mesh. Now, let's start here with Jen Psaki, press secretary, Joe Biden. She's a complete nitwit. This has got to be the most asinine press secretary since Ron Ziegler for Richard Nixon. I mean, she makes no sense. She can't answer a question, and she's a complete suck-up to the fake news that are in the press room. Here she is today trying to answer a question about, has Joe Biden been briefed on Fauci's emails? Cut one.
Has anyone from your team briefed the president on what was in those FOIA Fauci emails?
I'm not aware of him being briefed on the publicly reported emails.
Okay, nice answer. So he's not been briefed on them. I guess they don't matter because they don't fit the narrative. So no more questions about that. Now here's another question that asked about, let me ask you something, Miss Jen Psaki. Does President Biden, when he's awake, that is, when he's awake, does he have confidence in Dr. Fauci? I mean, after these emails came out, I mean, it's kind of like fraudcy stuff. Is he still confident in her? Here's her answer.
Given that there were some things that Fauci said privately that contrasted with what he said publicly, whether it was masks or whether or not someone who had the virus, had immunity or, other questions as well. I mean, does he still have confidence in his NIH directors? Does this change anything at all?
No, the president and the administration feel that Dr. Fauci has played an incredible role in getting the pandemic under control, being a voice to the public throughout the course of this pandemic. And again, I would reiterate, a lot of these emails are from 17 months ago or more, certainly predating this administration, but some time ago.
Oh, well, the emails are 17 months old, so they really shouldn't matter, even though that was at the most critical time when the pandemic started. Oh, those emails don't matter. And the president, when he's awake, and I just talked to him the other day in between naps, and he was at top of his game after nap 3. He was raring to go, and he said he has incredible confidence in Dr. Fraudci. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, folks. This is a complete and utter clown show, what goes on in these press rooms. Look, I was a White House press secretary. I occasionally got to ask a legitimate question. I mean, you got a legitimate answer. These people, this whole thing is a clown car. But hey, Biden, when he's awake, has incredible confidence in Dr. Fauci. Incredible. Best confidence he's ever had in anybody ever in the history of all people ever, or something that she babbled along. Now, she, of course, sidesteps the real questions. I'll get to that in a few minutes, but Fauci's got a lot of admirers. So fake news is going to continue to protect him. It's even got to, priestly type thing. Here's a student doing a song for graduation about Dr. Fraudci. Play the tape.
Dr. Fauci, give us vaccines. Help all the people who have been quarantined. We'll wear our masks and we'll have to stay distant. We'll wash our hands and we'll be more resistant. Fauci, yes? Promise us, please. We'll have a cure that can fight off this disease. Restrictions will lift with some ease. Dr. Fauci, don't forget me. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Folks, you can't make this stuff up. So the fake newsers and the left, they love Dr. Fauci. He's their iconic figure of masks and lockdowns and mail-out ballots and all the other fraud that they perpetrated us in destroying your life and destroying small businesses, right? He's their iconic figure. This is really unbelievable when you look at these emails he sent out, basically telling his staff, we had this yesterday, telling his staff, masks don't work, don't bother to wear them. Then he goes on TV and he says, hey, to save the world, everybody's got to mask up. I mean, he says the exact opposite that he says in his private emails publicly. And we're supposed to take this guy seriously. He's like a little chihuahua that's barking all the time. You never even know what the hell they're barking at. Absolutely absurd beyond belief. Now, here's Jen Psaki taking another question. When she does these press briefings, I could do my whole show on it. Just one cut after the other, how absurd it is. But here's Psaki sidestepping what finally is a legitimate question from the repertoire of fake newsers in the James Brady briefing room. Roll the tape.
Going to the emails with Dr. Fauci, there was an exchange between Dr. Collins and Dr. Fauci referencing a Fox News report discussing it basically the lab leak as a conspiracy. Collins denied, jumping to conclusions, and he asserted that his mention of conspiracies was referring to the rumor that the virus was bioengineered as a weapon. Is that the position of the administration and their top health experts, that this was not engineered, or is that still an open question and part of this review?
Well, I think we've spoken to this pretty extensively from here. Let me just say on Dr. Fauci and his emails, he's also spoken to this many, many times over the course of the last few days, and we'll let him speak for himself. And he's been an undeniable asset in our country's pandemic response. But it's obviously not that advantageous for me to relitigate the substance of emails from 17 months ago.
Oh, Fauci's been stellar. We're not going to litigate these emails from 17. It was 17 months ago. We're not going to relitigate any of these emails, even though it was at the beginning of the pandemic when nobody knew what was going on. And he was the one that everybody was looking to when he was lying to you right in the face, sending emails saying, yeah, but we're not going to relitigate that. He's been a tremendous asset. In fact, the fake news now has to protect him. So they bring him on Nicole Wallace, who was MSNBC or CNN, whatever she is. They're all the same. Fake news bunch. Nicole Wallace, here's her riveting interview. Tough questions for Dr. Fraudci.
Well, the true mark of someone is if they look good, even when their personal emails come out. So you passed the test that very few of us would pass. Dr. Anthony Fauci, thank you for spending some time with us today talking about all of it. We're always grateful to get some of your time.
Dr. Fraudci, I love you. Thanks for coming on. Just by coming on and me not asking you tough questions. It's so fantastic. I love you, Dr. Fauci. I mean, are these people for real? Does anybody actually watch this stuff? Thanks for tuning us in, because this is like real news. This is incredible. She's giggling. Oh, Dr. Fauci, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you. It's just, you're the best. You're the greatest ever. Don't worry about what these other people are saying. We don't care about them. You're the best ever, Dr. Fauci. Incredible. Now, here's a really tough question. Toughest of all the tough questions coming from the White House press corps today. The fake newsers, they got to the real heart of the matter. They asked Jen Psaki about the new, get this, are you on the edge of your seat? White House cat. Roll the tape.
I'm going to have to just wrap it up shortly, but go ahead.
A little update on the White House cat, because that's something that's still happening here. Our readers are asking us a lot, so I feel
I bet.
have a right to ask.
I've been joking, although maybe it might be true, that we're waiting for Bad News Day for that to come out. If you see a tail wagging coming out of the briefing room, you'll know something bad's about to happen. I don't have any update on the cat. I know there's a lot of interest.
Hey, man, ask the tough questions about the White House cat. What's next? Their pet rabbit?